Today is 438 day that I come here to share lessons I learn and I'm learning. I hope those lessons support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Yesterday I shared the lesson about how to improve your time management, and today I want to share the lesson about how to improve your problem solving skills. Problem solving skills is one of the essential skills as well, because if you want to build a business, if you want to bring value to the market, you need to learn how to solve problems. And if you want to improve your life, you need to master how to solve problems. There is no problem-free life. So that means if you do not solve problems, someone else will manage your time and will dictate how you're supposed to live. So you need to master problem-solving skills. So let's dive in. So first one is practice. So that means problem-solving skill is like a muscle. The more you use it, the bigger it is, the stronger it is. The less you use, of course, the weaker the muscle is, and of course it diminishes. So we need to practice. So that means if you do not have a lot of problems, maybe you're able to go outside of yourself, find people who really have problems and support them and help them and figure out how you can help them to solve the problems. Because a lot of times people want to solve huge problems, but if you never solve the small problems, you will never solve huge problems. So that means you need to start small and then practice, practice, practice. Second thing is learn from your mistakes. Now that means that if you practicing solving problems, that means you will make a lot of mistakes, and you need to learn from those mistakes. Because I love that the saying that when you went through adversity and you didn't learn from that adversity, that means that the adversity will be repeated over and over again. So it means that a lesson will be repeated over and over until you learn it. Exactly the same with problems. The problem will be repeating over and over again until you will learn a lesson and you will be able to move forward. Sometimes the problem you're able to solve it and you forgot about it. One thing is that when you solve the problem, but you still are able to think, okay, maybe I was able to improve it. Maybe I was able to do something different to solve this problem much faster. So it means even though that you solved that problem in a year, maybe you were able to and had a chance to solve that problem in 6 months. So it means you need to learn and reflect how you solve the problems. Third one is break down the problem. Now, a lot of times people procrastinate because they look at a huge problem and it's such a huge overwhelming problem and they do not start and they wait and wait and wait because they never work on breaking down that problem. I love, for example, when I go for a run and I run 10 kilometers. When I go for a run, I never go for a run for 10 kilometers. I always say that I will run 1 kilometer 10 times. 1 kilometer 10 times sounds much better than saying that I will run 10 kilometers. So that means I truly believe that everything in life we need to break down. Goals, we need to break down problems. That means that you need to focus on that one piece of the problem, one piece of the goal. So that means you're able to check that down and start focusing on that small piece, and you don't need to procrastinate. Number 4 is look at the problem from the different angles. Now imagine that you're trying to climb the mountain and you come beside the mountain and you see that it's so steep and you say there's no chance to get to the top of this mountain. It's just too steep. There's no chance. But imagine now you're going around that mountain and going around and you start to see that, oh, other side is not that steep. You're able to easily go up. Exactly the same with problems. That means that if you really are not able to solve one way, it's too steep, too hard to solve it, maybe you're able to go around it and find different angles that you start going maybe a little bit slower, but you're able to solve it. So it means if you do not able to solve the problem, maybe you just need to go around it. Now, number 5 is collaborate with others. Collaborate with others. This is one of the most essential things that you need to learn when you solve problems, because a lot of times we go through life and we get in a problem, into adversity, because our own mind, because our own limitations. So it means we'll not be able to solve the problem, because if we got in that problem with our limitations, those limitations are still there. It will be very difficult to get out of the problem with our own mind. So we always need to collaborate with others, because other people practicing their own problem solving, so they will be more than willing to help you out to solve yours. And Basically, when you have a conversation with a person who have more experience, and they will give you perspective and understanding, and with that bigger perspective, you will be able to solve your problem. Number 6 is stay organized. This is essential. A lot of times people think for some reason that problem solving is one-time thing. You sit down 2 hours and I know exactly what to do and problem solve. No. When you make a decision what to do with the problem, then you need to execute. And a lot of times some problems it's weekly problem. You need to work for 7 days in a row to solve it. Sometimes it's a 6 months problem and you need to work every single day and that means that you need to track your performance, your improvement, because if you're not organized, it will be very hard to improve that problem. Now, number 7 is stay positive. Again, this is very similar to stay organized and stay positive. That means that if you have a problem that is 6 months problem, you need to make sure that you are positive. Again, it helps break down the problem as well. When you break down the problem and you focus on a small piece of the problem and you finish that piece of the problem, now you need to be positive and be grateful and appreciative that you solved at least piece of the problem, and then you move forward. Because a lot of times when you say, okay, I want to solve the problem, but you don't break down and you're not able to be appreciative of small wins, it's harder to be positive. But when you are positive and you have great attitude and you're moving forward, there are a lot of people who want to jump in and really support you. But if you complain about everything, of course, that is very contagious and people do not want to be around people who complain. So stay positive, stay organized, collaborate with the others, look at the problem from different angles, break down the problem, learn from your mistakes, practice, and you will solve problems. I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.